Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, I've been seeing a lot of activity on one of my older videos, which is no longer relevant or is no longer working, which is the one for the animated dashboard video backgrounds. Now, I did some research and I was able to find a working solution for everyone to use, and it should be working now. Again, Home Assistant changes a lot, so I'll update this video or I'll add a comment below if it is no longer working. But as of right now, it is still working. So with that said, let's go in and take a look at how we can set up Home Assistant to show some videos as our dashboard backgrounds. There we go. So as you can see, I'm currently in an entirely clean Home Assistant instance. This is just so I can create the video for you guys. And one more thing along with this, I will be leaving a link to the written article below as well, so you can follow along or move through the article to have all the information you need. So the first thing what we're going to need is we're going to need a Home Assistant up and running. We're also going to need HACS installed, and then the file editor add-on that you can get from the add-on store. Now, setting this up is going to be fairly straightforward. The first thing we need to do is we need to head over to the repository of Roman. He forked the original one and modified the animated background JS file. So we can just click on there and we're going to need to download this file. So what we're going to do is we'll see the actual JS file, but what we're going to do is we're going to hit the download raw file right here, and that's going to ask it to save to our PC. So we just hit the save as. I'll just save that to my downloads folder and I'll hit save right there. And as you can see, it has downloaded it. It does tell me that it may be harmful. I can just click on keep right here and that will save the file to my downloads folder. Now with that downloaded, the next step we're going to do is just follow along. We'll go down and we'll need to add that file into our Home Assistant instance. So when we're in Home Assistant, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the file editor right here. And then what we're going to do is click on Browse File System. And down here, there should be a www folder. However, in some cases, or if you're using a new instance, you may not have the folder right here. Now, that's fairly simple. What we'll do is we'll create a folder and we will just call it www, click on OK. And as you can see, we now have that folder for www in here. If we open this up, we need to place that file that we just downloaded in this section right here. So we can click on the upload file option right here and click on the select file option right here. Select the animated background file we just downloaded, click on open, and we upload that into Home Assistant. And that's it. So now we have that in there. So we should be good on that. The next step in here is we're going to need to add a resources right here. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. The quickest way of getting to it, if you are just browsing, you can just click on the settings, click on dashboards, and then these little buttons right here. And you click on resources. And that'll open up your resource. Now, depending on the amount of items you have installed previously, or if you've used HACS before, there may be a lot of URLs in here. We need to add a new one for that dashboard to work. And as you can see right here, that would just be local animated background.js. So we'll just copy that, go into Home Assistant, add resource, paste that link in there, and it's already selected a JavaScript module as it is a JS file. Click on create, and now we have added that on there. Fairly simple so far. The next step is just clicking on overview. We go all the way up here to the edit dashboard button, and you can click on these three buttons right here, click on raw configuration editor, and in here is where we're going to paste that code. Now on the repository, it may reference the older code that has been used previously. So I'm going to use this one right here that's on the site. So on the written article, you'll see we have everything in here. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go through and copy this and then press enter a couple of times and just paste that code just above it and hit the save button. Now, before we go and take a look at the results, you have to keep in mind that the entity that is currently referencing here. So this is what's going to determine what type of videos will be playing. If it's raining or if it's dark or snowing, so that'll play different types of videos depending on the status of this entity. You can see right here, sunny, it'll play these videos, partly cloudy, it'll play all these videos. And this does pull from an online resource for everyone that has local or are strictly local, you may want to download these files and put it into a different folder on Home Assistant and then reference it in these sections right here. But keep in mind the weather.home entity. If you have a newer install and you add the integration for this, the entity name may be different, and I'll show you where to find that in a second. But that's the most important thing. So if we hit save right here and we close out of it, everything should be working, except if you have the incorrect entity selected, it may not update the video correctly. So as you can see, mine shows as if I have no internet. This is the default one that shows if you do not have any internet on here. One more thing on this is to keep in mind that if you have been using Home Assistant for a while and your browser may have cached a lot of the assets in here, you may need to clear your browsing data for the videos to actually start playing. An easy way around it, or to test it real quick if you really don't want to clear your browsing data, is you can go in, open up a new private window or incognito tab, and then log in and log in. And then once you're logged in, it should show the video starting to play. But now the problem we have currently is everything is set up, but the entity it's currently referring to in that raw code, if you go in here, is weather.home. Now, for us to fix it, we need to confirm that we actually do have a weather entity installed in our instance. Now, with the newer installs, it doesn't seem like it comes with default, so you may need to go through and add it yourself or use a different entity entirely. Just make sure that the statuses matches. I may do a live stream in the future where we can take a look at the options on how to use locally hosted videos instead and different entities. But for now, to get it working, we can go to Devices and Services. This is default with Home Assistant. If we just do a search for right here, it's going to ask us for our location information. This is just mock data, so you guys won't know exactly the location we are using, but usually I would recommend just adding in your actual location. It's usually linked to your Home Assistant instance. Once you entered that information, hit submit right here. And you don't need to assign it to an area. You can just hit finish. And then if we go in here into that service, we click on the entity right here, and you'll see that this one is called weather.forecast.home. So we need to use that instead of the weather.home that's currently in that code. So I'm going to copy that, go back to overview, and then edit that raw configuration. And where it says entity right here, instead of weather.home, we're going to call it weather forecast_home. Hit save, and then go back, and that should update the video right there. And that's it. Pretty simple. If you guys have any questions or you do get stuck, feel free to comment down below. I'd be happy to take a look. There we go, guys. That was pretty quick and painless. If you guys do get stuck or you have some questions, feel free to comment down below. As I've said, this is currently working as of making this video. I am on the latest update of Home Assistant, and everything seems to be running like it should. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day.